You might think that the perfect asset protection plan is to just give everything you own to your spouse or your son or daughter or your best friend, and that way when your creditor comes looking for the money from you, you can say, well, look, I don't have anything. But it's not such a great plan because a creditor can undo the transfer as a fraudulent transfer under Florida law. Hi, my name is Gideon Alper, and I'd like to share with you this useful information about what a fraudulent transfer is and what a fraudulent conversion is and how those might affect your asset protection planning. A fraudulent transfer or fraudulent conversion, together called a fraudulent conveyance, is when someone transfers or converts a non-exempt asset with the intent to delay or hinder collection by a creditor. First, let's talk about a transfer. A transfer is when you take a non-exempt asset and you give it to someone else, like your spouse, like your friend. A conversion is when you take a non-exempt asset and you turn it into an exempt asset. That's like taking cash, which is not exempt, and converting it into an annuity, which usually is exempt. If these actions, a transfer or conversion, are done with the intent to delay or hinder collection by a creditor under Florida law can come in and undo the transfer or undo the conversion. In addition, the creditor might even go after the transferee, which is the person you gave the money to or the assets to. And that way, the transferee could even become the defendant of a separate lawsuit. It's important to recognize, though, that the term fraudulent is not what you think it might be in the context of a fraudulent conveyance. A fraudulent conveyance does not carry with it any additional penalties. It's not a crime. You're not going to go to jail. All the creditor can do is undo the transfer, is undo the conversion. That's all you have to be worried about in the context of a fraudulent conveyance. But the point is, it's not effective asset protection planning. You can't just give it away if your intention is to delay or hinder the collection by the creditor. If you have some of your own assets and you're not sure what to do with them, but you're thinking now that maybe just giving them to your spouse or your friend or your children isn't the best plan, I want you to give us a call. There are things you can do with your assets, and that's what asset protection planning is. Our number is 407-444-0404, and we'd be happy to help.